Okay. Well, there's the audio. Sorry about that. Hey, Nick, can't hear you. Yeah, I don't know why it does this sometimes. This is ridiculous, but okay. Sorry about that. All right, guys. What I was trying to say was let me just basically start over. Thanks for all 9 people who stopped by about the audio. My bad. Is it on US30? This is what we were wanting to see. All right. So um, on US30, we had this area marked off, and I was using Jesus Christ, all screwed up now. Let's look at the fibs real quick. Basically, it did what I wanted it to do. So I was fibbing out that move, right? And I see that this area here was the liquidity, right? I wanted that liquidity to get taken before it turned around, right? And that's what it did. I did not want it to break this high. All right, so when I put in, this is my second entry. Remember, I had an entry earlier from what we called Andy with this red line. I already had that entry. As a matter of fact, I might take another one right now. We're way oversold. I'm gonna take one more entry on US30 right now, actually, because that first one knocked me out. Stupid thing. All right, taking one more entry on 30. So I have a total of 3 entries on 30. All right, my stop loss is right here at 39,157. 157. It needs to be 39. Son of a bitch. Give me a second. 39,167, not 157. 39,167. 39,167. Set for all. Bingo. Okay. So the stupid My Flash funding, um, I had another entry down here, and for some reason it took out my stop loss and just erased it, which is shitty because it did that to me the other day in gold, and I ended up losing a fucking grip. So dumbass My Flash funding. Make sure that like if you're using the broker, I don't know if they're having some sort of problems, technical, whatever, but sometimes it deletes stop losses, and it got me yesterday, or not yesterday, but last week. Long story short, it doesn't matter. We're looking at gold. I mean, we're looking at US30, all right? I wanted to see this come up and take out this liquidity right here, and it's exactly what it did. And I wanted it to hold this swing marker, which, as of currently now, it is doing. All right, as you can see, let's just go to the 30-minute. These candles are weird. I don't like the way it looks. Okay, so there it is. It is holding that, and hopefully this closes below. If this closes below the 78.6, I'm even happier on this 30-minute candle, because then I want to see this come all the way back down to these areas down here, right? This is why we had this marked off. So I'm not sure if we're going to be looking to take buys on the double bottom of here into this order block, or if we're actually going to go lower to these bigger extensions, in this bigger buy zone on the higher time frames. So I think for the buys, we're going to be a little more patient, but we could maybe start to scale in with the smaller order buys here, and we'll see. Um, but yeah, so basically what it is doing what I want it to do so far. It probably came up a little bit higher than I really was wanting, and it's taking a little longer than I would like to reject, but I'd really like to see this thing reject, close below the 78.6. So basically, let's go to the 2 hour and I'll explain what I was looking for. So on this time frame, right, we had the fib top to bottom. The price came and rejected the 50%, and that's where I called that out on Andy's trade last week, and it came down rejected. So we're Elliott waving up into the order block that I had marked off. Okay, it's showing rejection, which we want. We wanted to come down to this order block or even deeper, right? So now what did it do? It came up and it gave us a double top, which is screwing all the people who caught the entry first, like me, and it just stopped me out at break even. So it just got people like me. Now, do they have the balls to get back in? Well, I don't know, but I did. So we're retesting this trend line. I want this to close below. I want this to close below the 78.6, and I want this to reject to come down. I want to finish the Elliott wave, right? First low, double top, double bottom, pulled back up. Second low, pulled back up. I want to see the third touch now on the Elliott wave back into our order block, all right? Let's look at gold real quick because unfortunately, you guys didn't hear me, but I did call that trade out live, and it did hit as we were looking. So um, I had my markup sitting here at London, right? And so I had my entry sitting right in this area here. And I said, you know what? I'm only going to put my stop loss below London because if it's going to be wrong, it's going to be wrong. What I want it to do is to reject this trend line again, Elliott wave up, all right? And maybe I even probably, you know, covered this in yesterday's call, whatever, but we wanted to see the Elliott wave up, technically right here, into this order block, which is exactly what it did, right? It did exactly what it wanted to do. So I put my entry in there, it popped off, and I had my TP set for right there. And that's what happened. Hit my TP. It was a 4.5 to 1 trade, 4 to 1 trade. Done. I'm out. I'm really looking for this to reverse now. Look at how high it is on the RSI. Let's look at the 1 hour RSI. Oversold, overbought now in the 1 hour. So really, I think this is going to reject. Now, I'm not going to get super aggressive with the sells. There is a sell opportunity if you're a trendline person and you want to take the trendline sell once it breaks and maybe catch it all the way back down to the double bottom. You would not be wrong. I do think it's going to sell off. I do want to see a good clean double bottom before it buys back up and tries to set all-time highs or at least come up and try to grab liquidity. So if you guys have always heard the, you know, let's just delete a lot of this to clear this up, right? I want to make the charts clean. You guys have always heard about the M's and W's, right? It's not a, you know, here's down, here's up. Let's see the bottom and let's see the W for all-time highs, or at least to get it back up into this order block, up into this area up here, right? At least to catch that back up to there. So I'd like to see this double bottom. I think it's going to set it. Now, that's the reason. Let's look at the reason why I called that the order block and why I thought that was the target. In this gigantic sell-off where the bears were definitely here, look at this area of buys. See the area of buys right there? So that's why I was looking for that area to hit as a TP and for it to turn around. And so it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Let's look at the Fibonacci's then. All right, Fibonacci right there, 61.8 is right at the very bottom of that order block. Okay, we do the second leg, which you guys know is my favorite, here to there, right there to there. Look, 61.8, nailed it right inside the order block. So I do think that's going to be the turnaround. And so if you're new, what I'm referring to is the first leg is this there to there, right? The second leg is from this one there to there, right? And there's your TP extension that got hit. On the first leg, the TP extension got hit. So now we've had the first leg, second leg. This then is the third leg right into our TP extensions, and we're looking for reversal now. All right, so if you wanted to be risky, you could take a sell now. I'm not going to take the sells. I'm going to wait and let all this news shake out and see what's going to happen. But you know, there is an argument there for that. You are overbought on the RSI. It is in an order block. It has taken liquidity. Um, it has hit the Fibonacci on the sell side. So if we um, let's just delete some of these fibs. Too bad my audio wasn't working, man, because I called that out right there. I think you guys saw that I had the entry there. I had the little green and red box, whatever. That sucked. Anyways, there's the top to bottom. And there's the 50%. Hit it. Actually, I already had that fib drawn way over here. But anyways, you get the idea. So there's top to bottom. There's 50% perfectly. Now rejection. So there's a lots of reasons to take this sell. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of reasons. I'm going to be a little more patient on it today with the FOMC, the minutes and all that later today. But we did call that trade out, or I did say that trade, had it marked up right as we started. So too bad the stupid audio wasn't working. I've got to get better at checking that shit beforehand. All right, so this is the magical area. So if it closes, we want it to close in profit, at least here on this 30-minute candle. So we've got 12 more minutes, and let's see if this rejects. So it has given us a clean double top. So now again, if we're looking at this, double tops are now targets. That's going to be our TP for next on the buy side. Look at NASDAQ. Yeah, and then this is why you don't try to short NASDAQ. When it's this bullish and it just comes out of nowhere, you do not try to catch the top. You don't know where the top is. And same thing when it's selling, you don't catch a falling knife. You do not try to guess where the bottom is. It's just not smart. I mean, if you wanted to gamble, you could have seen, okay, it's consolidating. Let me just take a little sell and let me just have a super, super, super small stop loss in case it wants to break. And of course, you lost. And if you would have tried that here, you might have caught some pips, but you'd have lost. You'd have lost. You don't try to catch the top. Let it go. Let the bulls get tired. Let the bears step in, and you'll figure it out later. If we look at the 4-hour chart on Nasdaq, I drew a fib from this push from this bottom to this top before it retraced. It's just not hitting the 236, right? So we knew that at least it was going to come up to that area. There's a 236 right there. So perhaps if it closes below this 236, then maybe you could see if you can find some sort of divergence on the smaller time frame. But really, what I would suggest if you're going to try to short it, which I don't suggest, but if you are, wait for it to close below, right? And then wait to see if you could find something like this, right? If you could find something like that, then I would suggest, you could Fibonacci one of these moves and then try to do one of these, right? And then try to catch this back down here to the order block. But that's risky business. Just stay out of it. Just wait. Just wait for all the shit to figure it out. And at the same time, here it comes US30. So again, we want to see the 30-minute close below. I'd like to see it close below the 78.6, but at least the 88.6, and it really needs to reject this trend line. Way overbought. But again, we have to mix in some fundamentals here. So I'm not even looking at the news. I'm just going to guess that the inflation came out low. If the inflation came out low, which I'm guessing it did, because I can see the news in front and I can see the charts. Um, let's see what happens. Let's come right here. Oh well. uh, so previous was this. Now it always does this, and maybe I need to go up and read it. But if core inflation was 3.3, 0.3, it came out as 0.2. Inflation is going down. It's actually up over this one, but it's lower the consensus. It's lower the consensus. Lower. This should it's red. It should be seen as bears, but it's not. It's always the opposite for some reason. They say it's red, worse than expected. Oh, a worse than expected result. So this is something too that I need to do some back studying on. Is if this number 207, so it's actually higher. A worse than expected result, which is weird because it's 0.2, which is lower than this inflation. A worse than expected result, which is lower. Again, I don't understand how inflation going down could be a worse than expected result. I guess the argument there is with the Fed policy and tightening and restrictive. This is going to be seen as the dollar going down, with the DXY. So maybe that's how they're thinking this. But for me, it seems like well, there you go. There you go. That's exactly what they mean. Worse than expected. There goes the DXY. But if we look at my markups, my squiggly red lines, that's exactly what we wanted to see it hold this bottom. We saw it consolidating. We wanted to do what? Push up to here and then tank off. And well, it looks like exactly what it did because look, there's liquidity. So there's liquidity right there, doing exactly what my little squiggly line said it was going to do. Hold, 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 come up to here. Now it needs to come down to here and break these double bottoms and come down to this area here. So if you're in USD pairs like UJ, it should be tanking. There it is, UJ. Should be tanking, which is cool because it's just going to give us to an area to where our buys are. All right, what did GJ do? GJ, oh, well, I guess I would have lost that trade that I called out the other day. I called out that trade the other day. I mean, I guess you had some pips to protect if I didn't take the trade personally, but you would have had at least 70 pips to protect, and then would have lost that one. Whatever. I didn't take it. I'm not messing with GJ right now. Let's go back to 30. We need this fucker to close below. We need it to close below. The only thing saving me right now is the profit that I'm in gold. So I am negative on the account about 0.5%. But again, I've already closed out greens for today. and the gold is in profit, which is hedging my US30 losses as we speak. So it's all good. Uh-oh, I hear the baby. I hear the baby. Yeah, well, we gotta watch this. We gotta watch this. Let's look in the 5 minute to see if we can see some sort of divergent. Not yet. Runner running. Thanks, Nick. Did you check your chat messages? Yeah, okay. No more messages. Thanks for all 12 people. Hey, if you're in the chat here, say what's up. Show me some love in the chat so I know who's in here with us. Um, I don't know how to say Nasai. I don't, man, their first name is Mr. Hernandez in here. Anton J. Fire Punch, as always, is in here. JPP, what up? So at least we caught some pips on Goldilocks, and the runner is running. And to be honest with you, there was plenty of time to catch some pips on the sell that we called the other day with Andy's in Andy's live chat. So we called that out there. We were in 600 pips of profit on US30. You could have closed that, and then at the same time, if we look here on that, you know, we did do what is this that I called out? Oh, that's on this. Let's go to the trading chat. Right, we did call this out. So the other day, you see, we had the fan, and I said when this consolidation area is going to break down, right? That consolidation right on the yellow line. And there it is. There's that consolidation right on the yellow line with the money symbol, and then it broke down right into the bottom of our fan, just like we called it. So there was definitely room to take profit there. So I see all you guys are messaging me. Sorry, I was in zone. I was in the zone. I didn't hear it. So it's not looking too good for us right now in the US30 trade. We've got 5 minutes to see this bitch close below. And the bulls. So let's think about this then. If the bulls are truly stepped back in, and this is about to break and about to go. If it breaks this order block, this is our order block. Come on, give me the order block. All right. If it breaks this order block, where's this next stop? I mean, the next stop would then be to take out the liquidity here and to hold that as the double top, right? And I don't think it's going to do it. I think honestly, if it does that, it's going to set all-time highs. So, bigger picture, we need to be in buys. Bigger picture, we need to be in buys. Is this the true bottom, and then now this is the true sell? I just don't think it is. In my gut, I just think that it needs to give us a double bottom. In my gut, I don't think this is the true bottom. I mean, it's a good sell-off. I think this is just a retracement, and I wanted to see it retrace now. I don't want it to come all the way back up here and then retrace. It's just too much bullshit. Like, retrace now, give us this double bottom, and then let's go. We do have a little bit of liquidity left down here with these long wicks and this bottom here that hasn't been touched. We'll hold this one. If this breaks, I mean, if this breaks at this point, you just hit buy. To be honest with you, if this trend line breaks, I know Andy plays a 30-minute trend line. All right, if this candle closes above this trend line, might as well just hit buy. It looks like it's going to. We've got 3 minutes for this thing to reject, and I don't think it's going to reject. Not in 3 minutes. But if it does, this then would be your 30-minute trend line break. It's obviously bulls have stepped in, and you're looking to catch this, up to here, up to this area, at least right there, 39,765, which would be the bottom of this. I'd want to see the bottom right here get caught. So, but the only shitty thing is look where your stop loss is. Your stop loss is down here. Your stop loss is 600 pips away, which is ridiculous. That's not the way I trade. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna lose this one, man. We caught the gold. Maybe it's time just to cut this short. I'll give it Oh yeah, I really wanted that US30. Really wanted that US30. We'll see. We're gonna give it 2 more minutes to see if it closes below. So then what I'm gonna do then is mark this off. Mark this off. That's the top right there. It needs to close. It needs to close below that. It needs to close. It needs like it needs to close below that double top. There it is. You've had your fun, US30. Let's turn around. One more minute. Yeah, I mean, shit. US30 sell gave us 600 pips off the other day. Well, I was able to take some profit off that, but I'm losing it all right now. But it is what it is. I already booked profit on gold. So the negative, the amount that I'm negative now is what I got on gold a minute ago. So oh, there it is. It closed below. We're just gonna leave the OG stop loss then. All right, we're just gonna leave the OG stop loss and see what happens. We are not even sort of divergent on anything. I guess technically we are. There it's getting lower and the price is getting higher. So a little bit of divergent. And that's the risk you take when you play big market news like this. That is the risk you take. Anybody else have any pairs? Anything else we need to look at? It's bumping the bottom of the fair value gap on 24th of May. Well, I mean this right here, 23rd of May, 24th of May. Well, there's really no fair value gap at 24th of May. That's all consolidation order block area. There's a fair value gap here, on 23rd of May. That's the leftover fair value gap. Maybe that's what you're talking about. And fair value gaps also depend on what time frame you're looking at. You've got the bottom of this buy, and then how it shot off, and then it came back up to here. So this area is version, if you will, fair value gap. You do have the trap candle right here in the middle of it. You know, you do have this trap candle right there where people are sitting, where buyers are sitting. Buyers sit here, buyers sit here, and then they got screwed. So there is a trap candle there. Um, Again, I wanted to see this double top right here, and that's it. Like it needs to reject, and that's what we're playing. We're playing a double top. We're playing a 30-minute wick fill. That's Andy's 30-minute wick fill right in here. So it's filled in the wick. There it is. There's your sell. We put our stop loss just above the sell. I mean, this is Andy Peters also 101. I'm not excited about the trend line break, but it is what it is. You gotta take some risk. Bitcoins. I only look at Bitcoin really on the daily. I'm not getting caught up in the bullshit. So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin came up to the very top. It's a very strong resistance area, but that resistance at top is just going to be liquidity on the other side, right? So that's going to be target city 101. I have so fib top to bottom. It set a double top, which again is just more liquidity, right? So what do we want to see? We want to see it kind of sell off because now at the same token, look at all these wicks down here. There's liquidity right there, right? So is it going to break this and then come down and hit this order block, which I think it is, and then perhaps buy up from there, or clear all this out and come down to this order block right there and then buy up. So we don't know exactly how low it's going to come, but I mean, there's obviously strong resistance at top. This will come down here, grab these people's money somewhere down in this area before it pops off. So it's all good. I think Ethereum, again, I called out the Ethereum trade on the break there. We have a trap candle here. Guess what? It came right back down and hit that trap candle on the smaller time frames, and now it's pushing back up. So, does Ethereum now have a opportunity to break all time high? It sure does. It came down and took liquidity, and it's bullish. So there we go. Solana, I think Solana is coming back down to $100 first. There's a lot of bullshit going on with the NFT world right now. So I think Solana is going to sell off, grab this liquidity, grab all this liquidity, and hit this buy zone right around $100 where it pops back off. And unfortunately, my Cardano and my uh, DOT has come back down to this demand zone. So again, let's see if it buys back up. Same thing for DOT, back down to the demand zone. Hopefully, this consolidation is just gathering orders to buy back up. Jupe, I called Jupe on this entry here. It popped off and now it's coming back down to the entry again to do this double bottom thing. I am looking at H bar though. Like I do think H bar is in a good position to buy right now. Actually, I thought of it this morning about an hour ago, and look, there it goes. I was just telling myself about an hour ago to buy fucking H bar, and look, there it is right now, popping off. Same thing with coin. Was it coin that I was looking at buying? So I called coin buys there. What's the? Was it Shib? One of these other ones. Yeah, Shib. I was thinking about buying Shib today because look, it's right there in the 88.6. It's at the demand zone, and there it is. As of an hour ago, it's gone up. So Doji, I don't think Doji. I think Doji's going to sell off. It's going to come up, get this liquidity, then sell off. But if anything else, I think it needs to go lower if it's going to start buying. So I'm nothing on Doge right now. Let's go back to 30. Back to 30. Well, there's nothing else to do, guys. We're already in, and I wanted to show you guys why I took the trade, why I took that gold trade that did hit, and it's clearing. So my runner on gold is running. You know, good for me. Let it go. I was expecting it to turn around at this order block. It's still early in the day. You still had Fed rate, but it looks like the markets are bullish, man. That's all there is to it. The markets are bullish. So if you're gonna sell, you got to be cautious in your sells because ultimately you want to be buying. We just go back to the daily on 30, right? You'd be a fool to think the market is not bullish. It's clearly bullish, right? Same thing on gold. We'll go to the weekly. Same thing on gold. Clearly bullish, right? Clearly bullish. So on the 30s, anytime you have the sells, you be more cautious on the sells. Don't take as big lot sizes. Don't look for as big as huge as big as profit targets. If we caught 600 pips, I should have just closed that out and been happy with 600 pips and look for the buys. They always say trade with the trend. Well, the trend on every damn thing is bullish. So just buy until it shows us otherwise, and it hasn't. Even on the daily on US30, right? We had a retracement, but it's not breaking this bottom yet. So we're still bullish until this breaks. Until that breaks at 37,206, we're still bullish. I mean, we can fight it, which I'm trying to do now, and I'm losing, but overall we're bullish. The market wants to buy up. So perhaps we should close these trades out right now for the L that it is. We gotta we set a stop loss. I was comfortable with the trade, and we'll have to let it go. If we take the L, we take the L. It is what it is. At least I hedged my losses with the gold buys today. So it's 8:07, guys. We're gonna call it. We're already in this. We're already in. We already have gold runners. We're already in 30, and we're not screwing with Nas. And that's it. Let's see if Annie comes out and does something else later on. But I'm good for the day. I'm just gonna sit here and watch this US30 trade, and obviously not taking any more entries. But I'm hoping this is just the FU wick and for it to sell back off. But it doesn't look like it's going to. It does not look like it's going to. It's still pushing on the lower time frames. We are divergent, but exactly when is that going to turn around? It's going to be before or after our stop loss. No one knows. That kind of sucks. I was really hoping that would just come up and give me a wick down. Really hoping that was just going to give me a wick down to this buy area. Like this wick would have been right there. I'd have been like, I'm good, I'm out. It happens. 30-minute trend line broke. You might as well just hit buys and see if you can catch it up to the top. But anyways, all right, guys, I'm out of here. We'll see if we can catch something on later on this week. You guys have a good day.